you pick it, I play it. Hi, it's McFluffy52 here, and for this week's standard event Saturday, we're going to be playing Gruul Delirium. If you're unfamiliar with standard events, they are located under the events tab and they're a way to earn gems in game. So you pay either 2,500 gold or 375 gems, and you keep playing until you reach 3 losses. Usually it's best to spend gold so you have your gems to buy the mastery pass. You get rewards according to the number of wins you get. You want to kind of reach 3 wins, because at 3 wins you get 200 gold, or sorry, 200 gems and 1 pack, which is 200 gems in the store, which is 400 gems of value, and so you roughly break even. Your payouts though do get even better when you get more wins. So let's briefly talk about the deck, and then we can see if we can reach the fabled 7 wins. Here is the Gruul Delirium deck that I put together. I got so many requests for Gruul Delirium. It was the most requested deck that I think I've had. I also have some other requests that I'll keep in mind for future ones. Let me know what decks you want to see, and if you're interested in more standard events, there is a playlist in the description of these standard event Saturdays. But yeah, I've seen Poison Control, Is It Prowess, Angels, Jund Delirium deck, and Mono Black Discard. So let me know if any of those interest you. But today we're playing Gruul Delirium. This deck I had to kind of put together a bit myself because there was none on Untapped. Usually I like to reference the most popular build, or like the best performing build from Untapped GG, but since I don't have Untapped Premium and there wasn't enough samples, I guess, of Gruul Delirium from Bronze to Platinum or whatever it is, I couldn't see any deck build. So this is kind of inspired from other content creators, as well as some deck lists people shared with me. But the idea of Gruul Delirium is you get a lot of value out of Fear of Missing Out and Wildfire Wickerfolk, as well as Violent Urge. They all have this Delirium ability that says you need 4 or more card types in your graveyard, and when you do, you get this additional bonus. So if you're missing out, you get an additional combat with a kind of creature. This gives you +1/+1 and trample. This is a 1-mana 3/3 that can attack or block once you have Delirium. Violent Urge, and then can be a 1-mana +1/+0 and double strike if you have Delirium. I opted for Patchwork Recruit because I think it's good into the bounce matchups. I have Screaming Nemesis because I like it as like a hasty threat, and it's a way you can turn off those life gain decks. And then we have Witchstalker Frenzy as a big removal spell. One spicy card that I chose to include in this deck is Feral Encounter because I kind of like it. It's a sorcery. We need more sorceries so that we can kind of balance out all our different card types, so we can get to 4 different card types relatively easily. This one acts as removal as well as card draw. We have a lot of cheap creatures that we can find with Feral Encounter. Anyways, that is the deck. Let's hop into the games and see how we can do. Alright, you go first. Is this hand good? Okay, I forgot to say, subscribe if you want to see future standard event Saturdays so you don't miss out. I think this hand's alright. I mean, we have removal, payoff. We're going first, which is nice. I think we're just going to run out the Recruit on 1. I did a lot of yapping there at the beginning. The yapping slows down now that I'm in the game and have to do a bunch of thinking. Mono Black, or that's a swamp, so what do we want to do about it? Our opponent probably is on Mono Black. I think for this, I think we just run out the Fear of Missing Out. Probably discarded Torch of the Tower. It's not going to be very good, though. We could have played out the Beastie and held up a Torch of the Tower if the opponent has a bat, which might have been a good idea. It's also could eat a cut down, which is one reason we should have potentially held it back as well, but just get in there. Gruul Aggro, or Gruul Delirium, is a kind of aggressive deck. At least that's how I understand it. We have combat tricks, we have hasty creatures, so interesting. The opponent is going to kill the Fear of Missing Out, so we can run out the Patchwork Beastie. We do have several spells that have double green in their mana cost. I was explaining Feral Encounter, like a card I included in this deck, but we also have the 2-mana 3/3 that can exile cards from the graveyard. That has double green, so we're only playing 1 mountain in the deck. But we have a lot of duels in the deck as well, so We can get rid of that with the Witchstalker Frenzy, which is actually quite nice. We turned on Delirium, which is also quite nice. We're going to be attacking in with 2, so we can cast the Witchstalker Frenzy for a discount and remove this before the opponent goes to block. We're kind of at the mercy of our top decks here, though. Black doesn't usually play sweepers, so that's a good thing. And then the Shieldred. Oh, that's so bad for us. We don't really need to mill. I'm gonna avoid doing it for the turn. Okay, double torch is something, I guess. that is something we can do. So we could double torch the Shieldred, or we could attack in and then torch whatever if they do block. So we can kill Shieldred this way. I probably would have preferred to keep the Recruit. And so there's probably an argument to double torching and bargaining away our Beastie so we could scry one, but we get to keep a torch in our hand, which is nice. The Ritual Chamber. Oh boy, we really need like a breakout or something to get another creature on board. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Wildfire Wickerfolk is probably the better one of those. And then we can potentially torch again. Well, I already attacked with the Beastie, so I can't undo it. Opponent is going to choose to block, which is interesting. We're going down on cards pretty aggressively here to deal with these large toughness creatures, which is not good. I think that's one of the weaknesses of Gruul Delirium, that with nowhere to run in the meta, you're seeing a lot of high toughness creatures, and then you also just kind of get hated on as a red deck as well. Phyrexian Arena. Oh no. Opponent. Do you have a removal spell? I'm a little confused what's going on here. Oh, that is not going to do it. We can hold on to it in our hand if we want to make the opponent worry, but we'll hold on to it for the fun of it and make our opponent think twice. Do they have a demon? Okay, break out. This could be it. Do I play the forest just in case we hit a fear of missing out? Probably. Fear of missing out or Wildfire Wickerfolk. This draws us a card. I think it's worth doing it for that reason. So it does die to cut down, which the other one wouldn't. It also dies to go for the throat. They have an edict, so it doesn't matter. Draw a card. Okay, that's pretty good if they have a Shieldred. Down to 1. Opponent needs to find a demon here quickly, so that can start gaining life with the Annex, but... or Shieldred, but if even with Shieldred, I think they die to the arena before they get the life gain trigger. That, I guess we can get rid of that. Yeah, I guess we get rid of it. If they have a demon here, that's not great, but they don't have mana to open it and play a demon, I don't think, so we did it. GG. 1-0. Opponent goes first. That's not great to see. This hand is alright. We have a 1-drop. Not having a third land is a little annoying, but honestly, I think we'll draw into 1, but who knows. The rest, that can get rid of Torch the Tower or the Urge. Don't think that matters too much as long as they don't have anything that we'd prefer to torch, but I think they take the torch. Alright, third land. We have 22 lands in the deck, so we're not the lowest land count, but we are also not the highest land count. Tiny Bones. Okay, is this a discard deck? Strange. I think we run out the Wickerfolk and just we gotta get aggressive. I don't think Tiny Bones is that good. Opponent discards a card, exile it from their graveyard with stash counter. During your turn, you may put cards you don't own with stash counters from, you don't own with stash counters on them from exile, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells, and then you can pay for it to discard. We have 2 instants in our graveyard. This would add an artifact creature, so that wouldn't. I don't know. I think the opponent's just trying to slow us down here a little bit, which is fine. Fear of missing out is great because we can put a land in our graveyard if we wanted to. We should probably have actually dumped that land, and then we could have gotten Delirium, which would have been nice. Alright, so we could play Fear of Missing Out, discard like Violent Urge or Screaming Nemesis, and play the Recruit, or we could just cast the Recruit and get the thing that stops targeted removal, which sounds pretty nice. The Fear of Missing Out, though, if we can assemble Delirium, doubles up our attack with his Trampling 4. Nemesis also is a good play. This is... They're all like pretty good. Do we think the opponent's playing a lot of targeted removal? Is the question. If the opponent's playing a lot of targeted removal, I think this is good. Fear of Missing Out is also not bad if we play it later on and we're empty-handed. It's just not good in the sense that it doesn't have haste, which is pretty helpful for making things happen. Cards that we discard, though, aren't going to go into our graveyard. They're going to go into Tiny Bones' hands. Tiny Bones' thieving hands. Okay, Creature of the Schism as a card. Go in Screaming Nemesis, or do we hold back Screaming Nemesis? This Tiny Bones is problematic, I will say. We gotta somehow hit, because this stops things from going into the graveyard with our Fear of Missing Out. I forgot about that. We could... I don't know. I think this is probably wrong. Could trade that with the creature, which is something. We kind of need a torch or a fight spell. We are playing 8 removal spells in the deck, which is more than most these Gruul Delirium decks, I think. Yeah, that is nice, because we can put a bunch of +1 counters on our Recruit. We'll go on this one, because we might bargain that to a torch to get rid of Tiny Bones. The token, that is. Opponent discards a card, exile it from the graveyard with a stash counter. Yeah, that's not great for us. We don't have any sorceries we can put in our grave. I think we just go in with Pawpatch and the Wildfire Wickerfolk and hope that the opponent blocks and we can Violent Urge. The opponent knows it's in our hand and I just flashed it. Whoops. I hate that the opponent can see you mousing over things. I wish that was something that they didn't put in the game. Unfortunately, Fear of Missing Out isn't like a May ability. When it enters, you will discard a card. You discard the Violent Urge. I don't think it's that good. During your turn, you may cast or play cards. So we can discard the Violent Urge, or I honestly don't know if we play anything here. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna discard the Violent Urge. Could help us to like make things happen, but I kind of want to get a little bit deeper into the library. Play or cast? you may play. So if we discard a land, we give them a land drop. I don't know if we want to do that. I was just hating on Tiny Bones, and now we're playing around it so aggressively. You know what? We'll give them a land drop. What could it be? They have Shieldred. I think we want to go really wide. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because now we're super wide. So that the opponent really has to put a bunch of creatures on board to stop us from coming through. So removal for Tiny Bones or the Preacher would be nice. We went through 2 lands on top of these fear of missing outs, which is kind of nice. Opponent now in the tank. I respect it. I can't believe they stole our forest. What the heck, man? Oh, the one card that I didn't want to give them a forest for. I was like, okay, maybe they could have Shieldred. Holy moly, that's a big one. It turns on our Delirium. Which is pretty much all that we cared about. Now we get to fight. How do we want to fight? And we get rid of the Preacher, and then we have 2 Tramplers, which is kind of nice. That are going to attack twice. Yeah, I think we just go like this. And that should be game. One of these targets the Wickerfolk, and the other one targets the Pawpatch Recruit. And then there's like almost no way they live, right? I mean, yeah, they only have 2 blockers. GG, let's go. Let's go. They take 4 from the Fear of Missing Outs, and we would have had an extra combat with the Wickerfolk. 2-0. Okay, opponent goes first. Do we keep this? It's kind of slow. We don't do anything till turn 2, and then we don't really have any good ways of interacting with our opponent. So there's an argument to discarding it, but at the same time, I don't really want to discard it because, or like mulligan, because I hate mulliganing, but like if the opponent's on red and we don't have like the Torch the Tower, the Fight Spell, the Witchstalker Frenzy cards, it's gonna be hard to erase them. I feel like we have a lot of 1-drops in the deck, but it's hard to draw them. We have 4 Pawpatch Recruit, 4 Patchwork Beasties, and 4 Torch the Towers, but I guess sometimes you don't get them. Okay, if I mulligan into a worse hand, I'm never mulliganing again. Okay, this hand's okay. Well, we can do that. We get rid of the Nemesis. They're gonna be a life gain deck if I get rid of it. We'll get rid of... We'll get rid of the Nemesis. The Breakout might bring us a lot of value. That's kind of why I kept it. And then I don't really love getting rid of lands, but we could have. If we get rid of a land and we have the Nemesis, if we don't hit our land drops, that could be bad as well. Patchwork Beastie. This card is cool. 1 mana 3/3. Wow. But I can't attack or block. Of course, it's a life gain deck. Ah, probably more of a control deck. Or do the consoles though. Pretty annoying for those hasters. No, we don't actually have any removal for it, unfortunately. Okay, that's something. Screaming Nemesis is something. We can turn off their life gain. This will put a sorcery in the graveyard. I feel like the opponent's a sweeper deck, but we'll take this. Gains haste, doesn't matter because it's tapped. And then we pass. Because can't attack or block yet. Arena, yeah, let's get it. This is just the opponent had the sauce. The sauce being they had I'm not gonna play the Screaming Nemesis yet because I want to be able to play it and then torch it to stop the opponent's life gain permanently. Opponent's life total is going the wrong direction. Elspeth is interesting.
Have faith in my sword.
Do I torch the token? Probably not. I can just... Okay, that's an enchantment creature. That turns on pretty much everything, which is good. Oh, I can't attack in with haste. Haha. Forgot about the consoles. So annoying. This will go face. This will go... And then they block the Pawpatch Recruit, but I think we're okay with that, maybe. I can also just torch it. Ay, caramba. I don't know. I feel like I probably misplayed this Torch the Tower. It looks like some kind of Orzhov Caretaker's Talent deck, which is interesting because they have a Planeswalker that makes tokens. Like Elspeth is one of the best. Yeah, I think we're just cooked. It's one of the best Planeswalkers for triggering Caretaker's Talent. Yeah. Yep. Turn 1 Authority of the Consoles was rough. Sunfall into Sunfall. Question is, how is Dave gonna kill us? Violent Urge, yeah, I kinda wanted that. Liliana.
A fight? And you think
Yes, I sacrificed the Recruit. I don't think it matters because they have 2 Incubator tokens. Yeah, we're just gonna save ourselves. Like, there's no way we win from this spot, I don't think, so. 2 and 1. Oh gosh, opponent goes first. I just want one more win. Arena Gods, please. Patchwork Beastie turn 1 is nice. I think I'll keep this hand. No, it's mono red. On the, or like, on the play. Definitely not the best place to be, but we can make this work. I believe in us. Okay, do we mill? Probably. There's one card type. So what I'm thinking of is playing Torch the Tower. Well, I kind of confirmed what I was going to do. Playing Torch the Tower. And then next turn we play Fear of Missing Out to discard one of these artifact creatures, and that will complete Delirium so we can start doing things. We also get rid of their 2/2 prowess card that kind of draws them cards. They have another. Not good. Thankfully they haven't drawn into any of their Heartfire heroes. Play the forest, I guess. We will discard a Patchwork Beastie, completing Delirium. And we drew into another land. Wow, that is a lot of lands. Do I attack in? I don't know. Probably not. I think we're on the defensive. If we can play the long game, we do have a creature land that we can So if you trade down material, we can always just win with Restless Ridgeline. We have one of them in the deck. Swift Spear. They have two different arts for Swift Spear, which is interesting. The fact that they're deep in thought is a good sign, I think. I hope. We're just really at the mercy of the top decks here. I feel like this is a deck that tends to gas out of cards in hand, which is a little frustrating, but I don't know if there's that much you can do in red-green. I guess you could add in the Druid, like Questing Druid, Ren's Resolve, and then you also have a creature. Thought about putting Ren's Resolve in the deck because it is a sorcery, so you'd add some sorceries to the pile, but you dared me. So if they have a Monstrous Rage, I think this still will kill because it will go up to 4 toughness and 6 power or something. It'll go up to 7 power. They might just activate the Rock Face Village. Is this sorcery speed or... Oh yeah, it is sorcery speed. Red Maw's Ire. Heals combat damage, destroy an artifact or target artifact that player controls, which is interesting. Gained trample. But actually that was so good for us. Why are they playing Dreadmaw's Ire? I feel like there's lots of... Do we mill? No. I should have milled. That's one thing I don't know for like Delirium is, do you just mill every time? The art for this card is pretty cool. All attacks. Interesting. Is it lizards? Well, they already went to combat, so... I guess we'll do that and try and kill the Hardclaw. We're gonna take like 6 damage or potentially more, which is not encouraging. Because the Swift Spears, if they have a spell, are gonna go up to 2 power. This is a flood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the top 14. Yeah. Not exactly favored for us. Okay. That hurt. I don't know what the opponent was in the tank for, because that felt like that should have been like the easiest thing ever to do, but anyways. Alright, 2 and 2. We gotta win the next one. Over the fabled words across the top. You go first. Alright, maybe it happens. We got hasters and stuff, so... Run out the rabbit. I mean, we could hold on to the Pawpatch Recruit if we really wanted to, but I think we run it out. It's really nice to Offspring, but, yeah. Opponent on blue. Okay. Siren. So they might be Dimir. I hate Dimir. We don't entirely mind them trading this because that means they can't ninjutsu out of Kaito. At least there's 1 creature less, and then we also put a card in our graveyard for Delirium. Unfortunately, Witchstalker Frenzy does not hit Planeswalkers, so we can't kill Kaito with it, and then this only hits creatures as well, so maybe that's a weak spot in the cards that I chose. Okay, the opponent stuck on the removal draw, which is, I guess, good for us. Breakout. I guess we go for it. We don't have anything to interact with our opponents here, but we have artifact creature. Oh, whoops. We'll get the Patchwork Beastie onto the battlefield. I'm not gonna do anything, unfortunately, but it is a body that can eventually turn on Delirium here. They Bloom Trick. Yeah, I think we're toast. Oh no. Opponent had the cut down. I guess I probably shouldn't have attacked into the Siren with the 1/1 or the 2/1. That's my bad. Here comes the Kaido. And Kaido just wins the game by himself. I hate this card. It's so disgusting that it can ninjutsu for 3 mana. You can't counter ninjutsu either, and it's hexproof on their turn, so you can't kill it on their turn, and then it's with creature removal, and then it's a planeswalker on your turn. So you have to have planeswalker removal for it. Alright, enough ranting. How do we get rid of Kaido? They have 1 mana open. Is it an unsummon? Probably not. Or like a Into the Flood Maw? Probably not. So I think we can safely say that we kill. We can kill the Pawpatch Recruit is very nice. We could hold on to the fear of missing out. Well, no, we can't. I forgot. This isn't Breakout. This is Peril Encounter. Alright. Interact with me at your own peril, opponent. Problems, they also have the flash card draw creature.
I've got an exit strategy.
We're in a pretty good spot, all things considered. Cut down. Put that on the Beastie, I guess. Because they want to kill the Nemesis anyways, because it's annoying. And also, this can't go further throated as an artifact creature. Let's go. Do I mill? I'm gonna go with no. Peril Encounter is nice. This is 8+3. Not enough. It'll be Violent Urge. Wait, no, it's 5+3. So if the opponent doesn't remove anything, I can kill that. Which allows us to play Patchwork Beastie. We don't have enough red to also Violent Urge, which could have potentially won us the game, but right now the opponent down to 1 card. I feel like we got this one actually locked now. I was feeling a little worried there after Kaido, but we had to just Peril Encounter it. Peril Encounter actually pretty good is what I feel like after all that. I don't think we need to mill anymore unless the opponent has a graveyard hate for. Oh my goodness, another Peril Encounter is pretty, or Violent Urge is pretty crazy. That's not particularly good, but fine. We still have lethal. That's 4+4+3. Boom. 3 and 2. Alright, opponent goes first. This hand seems pretty good in the sense that we have a lot of Delirium going on. We got a decent 3-drop. Opponent plays a Temple of Deceit, which is concerning because they could be Dimir Poison or they could be Dimir Midrange. Evolving Wilds. What in the what? They're playing it for Manafic. Oh my goodness, it's budget Pixie. Okay. I've lost to a budget Pixie deck before. It made me sad. Because I generally don't like playing into Pixie. That's the pretty much why I say it made me sad. Do we have a land in there? I don't think so. So, boom, land. Another land. Opportunistic Scavenger, that's gotta die. Nowhere to run, that gets rid of the fear of missing out. We can torch twice, which is nice, and deal with everything, which I think I will do, but it does mean we go down to like hardly any cards in our hand. It's a land, that's kind of what I was afraid about. Ooh, we do have the fear of missing out, which can draw us cards. That's gotta die. I hate that card. No, I do seem to hate a lot of cards, don't I? Alright, this goes. Take 3. Probably have like what's it called? The Pixie card or the Fear of Isolation. There you go. I'm sad. We haven't seen a nowhere to run, which is nice. I'll save the fear of missing out for next turn, just in case they make us discard this forest. Though I could be flying too close to the sun if they have like a fear of missing, or a hopeless nightmare rather, and a gosh, I hate all the cards they're playing. Nowhere to run, really annoying. Sheltered by Ghost, really annoying. Storm Chaser's Talent, kind of low-key broken. Anyways. So, Keen-Eyed Curator is interesting because that could get really big. This would be a hasty 4/3. Fear of missing out could help us filter through our lands more. It does attack twice, so it is like 4 damage itself as well. Fear of missing out, or Keen-Eyed Curator also stops them from doing graveyard shenanigans potentially, so maybe there's an argument for that. It's either of these two, I feel like. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Not certain that I did the right thing, but yeah, that is nice, and that will work well with the fear of missing out next turn because we can double attack in, but the opponent could have finally found their discard. Nope, it's another talent. That can bring back nothing. Okay. Another talent. That's fine. Perfect. Another Keen-Eyed Curator was not what I was expecting. Though this could do 14 damage. Because we could exile the cards to turn on. So the card says if you exile 4 more card types with it, it gets +4/+4 in trample. And then we can attack twice with the fear of missing out. So we have like lethal on board. Well, no, we don't have lethal on board. I guess we just attack in. Whoops, I screwed up. I should have played the Wickerfolk. Alright, well, I feel like I'm obligated to do this now. Got rid of a land. We have multiple instants. We can get rid of one of those. We have enough card types. If I get rid of creature and enchantment, that leaves artifact, sorcery. Yeah, we have. Alright, attack twice. Alright, well, I talked about doing it, so we ended up doing it. I probably should have played the Wickerfolk, attacked in twice with that, and also played the other Curator, because these are now at risk in our hand, but the opponent hopefully doesn't have another Sheltered, and we should just party party that way. GG. 4-2. Okay, opponent goes first. A little scary with this hand. I think I'll keep it. Maybe it works out. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? We'll know in approximately 5 minutes. Okay. Played nothing, so I'm gonna play the Ridgeline probably. Get the tap land out of the way. Probably play Breakout next turn. Okay, the opponent is Grixis, which is weird. Not expecting. Wasn't expecting a Grixis deck. Wonder what they're up to. They could be like a Fear of Missing Out, Children, Cauldron deck type thing. Fear of Missing Out is just such a good card. Such a good card. Get rid of the land here, I think. Could get rid of a torch. Maybe I get rid of torch. The opponent's probably playing some big things. This is just a soul read. I don't like discarding lands, but the fact that we drew into one now makes me sad that I chose to not discard the land. Alright, go in. Give something haste, please. Curator is pretty nice. Nemesis could be handy, but a hasty 3/3. Another Anoint. Oi, oi, oi. We do have Manland, but they have the better Manlands. There's our 4/4s with Death Touch, and they also mill. Pawpatch, you were very late to the party. The opponent has spot removed me multiple times. Which, if we had the Pawpatch, like turn 1, would have been really good. Oh man, they're even gonna kill it before the Offspring goes off. Alright, that's not targeted, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, if you play into a Pawpatch Recruit, if you kill it before the Offspring goes off, you only get 1 counter that they can put on something. They can activate their Manland, so we can't really attack in. Though we could troll them and Witchstalker Frenzy their land. If they go for it. No. Okay. Coward. Coward. Coward, you wouldn't. Okay, the opponent hopefully doesn't have like Brotherhood's End or something. Slagstorm to Sweeper. Or Deadly Cover-Up, I guess, would also work at this point. Counterspell. Is it 3 steps ahead or is it just attack? Not sure what our opponent's up to here. It is a tax. Okay, yeah, I'll pay. We can feral encounter away the 2/2 if we care about it. It's a cowboy on a horse, and it's flying, so it's like ghostly and a spirit. Interesting. Never noticed that before. If we attack in with 3, that will discount this to 1 red, so I think we can safely play this. We can also get rid of their 2/2, which seems kind of nice if they're planning to Kaito off of it. Ooh, I could play another Pawpatch Recruit, which would be hilarious. Yeah, we'll do that. So I might hold the Witchstalker Frenzy for the Manland. Am I gonna kill something here? Please don't. You want to see how many triggers I get? Trust me, it's gonna be fun. Did they bet this town ain't big enough? What is going on? One is looking at their spirit. What the hell? That was interesting. I guess we'll make it swole, or 1 swole 1, so we can Violent Urge it eventually. That's 4 power, so it should be enough to get through the Manland. One's going to kill that and remove all future ones from my deck, but they do get to know what's in my hand, which is not what I wanted. My surprises aren't so shocking now. Oh yeah, we get to I completely forgot about the feral encounter. Boom. Get wrecked. You don't even have a flyer now. They did remove a creature from our graveyard, which is annoying because now we're missing another part of our delirium. We can use the Ridgeline here, which is nice. And we don't even mind losing our land because we have so many. Unless we top deck something spectacular here. Is that spectacular enough? I think we save that for after or post sweeper, or do we go in with it and we save the manland for post sweeper? So if we activate the manland, that's 3, and then we give another thing +2. That's 3 + 4 + 4 + 2 + 1. We can activate our Witchstalker Frenzy as well. We're gonna go for it. If the opponent like removes something, we also get like so many Pawpatch Recruit triggers. They could have an Edict, which would be bad, but the opponent's on some kind of control pile, but they haven't really gotten much value, I feel like. They do have a Edict. Interesting. I mean, yeah, I'll sack the 2/1 compared to my manland. Now they can't activate their manland, which seems weird. I guess I could have won. Okay, well, I don't think the opponent has anything else, so we'll just win. Oh wait, no, that's not a win. That's just +1. But 1's all we needed. Let's go. I thought it was double strike for a split second, but 1 was all we needed. GG. We're 5-2. All right, you go first. That is good for us. We have the Restless Ridgeline for like the 3rd game, I feel like, in our opener, which is weird, but you know. Patchwork Beastie will take as a turn 1, I think. I feel like the only thing, like, Fear of Missing Out, I think is just a good card in general, but the problem with it is I have to make a decision on what to discard. How do I do that? Kind of joking, but yeah, it is kind of annoying discarding something and then maybe needing it later. Storm Chaser's Talent. Is this the deck? The deck that I hate. It might be. Alright, breakout. We'll take Curator since we can exile stuff from their graveyard, and it's a hasty 3/3 with the breakout. Breakout, you can grab any creature with it. If it's 2 mana value or less, it gets haste. I guess I should have explained that earlier, but yeah. It's a wall of text. And I think it's like top 6 or top 5. Top 6. The art for it is pretty good. I feel like it's pretty interesting, at least. It's an interesting card. I'm surprised it hasn't seen more play, but I think it's just because like there's not many decks that actually want it as like a in those colors, or just like it's not a great color pairing for the stuff. Alright, land goes in and then we discard the land, and then we have Delirium, so we can go in with the Patchwork Beastie. And if the opponent forces us to discard, we can discard like if the opponent forces us to discard multiple times, we can potentially just go and opponent doesn't like the graveyard 8. Aha! We can block this 1/1, so if the opponent's on like the Kaito plan, we can stop that. Looks like they're probably committed to the Pixies. Oh my gosh. If you don't know, there's a new card coming in Aether Drift that I talk about in yesterday's video, I go through like top Aether Drift cards, or I try and go through the top Aether Drift cards and make it concise. But there's a new card that's going to be really good in Pixies. I'll put the video in like the description or something. But yeah, I have my concerns about how it will affect Pixies. Double Violent Urge is funny. If I could bring this up to 5 power double strike. Do we hold these on? Hold on to the. I think I just do at least one of them to get double strike. That seems worth. Take 8. You know we have another instant, and a 1-minute instant at that because I wasn't on. Actually, I could full control, and then they never know what is happening. If you press shift control or control shift, it goes hold full control. If you hit control, it's full control for like the next action or something. I don't know how it works, but you get the idea. Okay, yep. That is dead. You've killed it. Opponent. No! Ay, caramba. I'm gonna cast it of my own volition. Hopeless Nightmare. No, I hate that card. I'll decline. If I hit a land, I can Ridgeline. Manland. Apparently, we're actually a deck that cares about manlands. Opponent has to block. And we have a manland for 3, so they have to kind of set up some kind of blocker, or have land destruction, like a demolition field. All right, nowhere to run. Back into hand. They play it out immediately. Play a talent. Oh my god. Yuck. Oh no. I was hoping the opponent was gonna make like a fatal error here and not, or hold, like, not hold on to their nowhere to run so that they can trigger prowess. I hate this deck. I hate Pixies. Actually, they can't kill the Ridgeline and the Beastie, and they'll go down to 1 card in hand. Beastie will get through. Like, they have to block the Restless Ridgeline with Nurturing Pixie, and then Beastie has to be blocked with the Otter, so they'll go down to just Pixie if I attack in. And we'll have a Beastie. And they'll have 1 card in hand. I think they're going to want to kill the Ridgeline. They could kill both, I forgot about. Oh no. If attack in, because what they can do is they can target the Beastie with the nowhere to run, and then double block the Ridgeline, which leaves us with just them 1 card and us 1 card. Is that worth it? I don't actually think so. We're gonna wait a turn. Oh man. Maybe it was the right move to force the opponent to well, we'll force some interaction here, but maybe it was the right move to force the Ridgeline attack, but if they have like this town ain't big enough, we're in a bad spot. We just need to top deck well. The opponent's on the defensive, like they can't attack in very well. They can bounce at instant speed if they have this town, which I think they must because they're kind of eyeing their permanence. Wickerfolk, yeah, that's good. That's trample. And we don't have to use a ridgeline, which I want to kind of hold on to, I think, actually. I'm not gonna try my best out here. I don't know what's what though. Can block the 3/3, bounce the nowhere to run, blow up the Wickerfolk with the nowhere to run, and they can rebuy it with this town. This town only returns non-land permanents. Oh, they bounced both of them. Weird. I guess they killed the beastie with... Oh gosh. Hmm. uh. Hmm. Okay, that's decent. We're gonna make it happen, I swear. We will make this win happen. I mean, might as well send it. Force them to remove it. Maybe we should have held on to it and put it in our hand and then try and run out a bunch of things, but I think we're on borrowed time, honestly. I think we've lost because they're just gonna buy back the this town ain't big enough and then they can... Oh, what? That's interesting. I would have assumed they just trust in their draws to some degree, but we need like a feral encounter into like a wildfire Wickerfolk. I feel like. If they have a discard spell, not running this out does seem pretty silly. I don't know. My brain's fried, man. Their deck is just so... It's so hard to like know what they're going to do next because they have just infinite options with that deck. And they hit the third nowhere to run. Oh my god. They have endless options. Do I bounce this? Do I bounce this? Do I get this back? Do I... Where do I put the counters with scavenger? Blah, blah, blah. Alright, draw me a card. Surely we're not going to get completely owned while the opponent's at 3. They can't level up at instant speed, so they may have not known that, or forgotten about that, or they're just going to hit this town and I'm going to cry. Please ban something. That's all I ask. That's... Please. This is the most miserable nonsense ever. Alright, let me pull up some stats and see if I can confirm my bias against this deck. Die. Yeah, the standard metagame, according to MTG Goldfish, this is going to be kind of, I can't activate the Ridgeline. The standard metagame, according to MTG Goldfish, is Dimir midrange at 12%, Bulgari midrange at 9%, Esper self-bounce at 9%, and then Gruul aggro at 8%. That's going to be best of 3, but still. Pretty, the Dimir mid-range decks play... No, they don't play this town stuff. And we drew land. I mean, I don't want to trade my Ridgeline for nothing. I guess we trade it for a removal spell, but... Opponent, wakey wakey. Bounce both your talents. Like, even if I activate the Ridgeline, they just play the Nowhere to Run, and then they block it because it becomes an 0-1. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Lightning Strike off the top, please. I don't have it in the deck, but that was not Lightning Strike. We are dead. Unfortunate. Alright, we finished 5-3, which is pretty good. Still, somehow, I don't feel like I won after playing that last game, but we get 2 packs and 400 gems, so we can redo this. Let's see what we got in the packs. I will say, I think I have all the rares that you're allowed to get out of the packs unlocked, so yeah, I get gems, which is kind of sad. The problem I see is, like, if I quickly go to my collection, this is all the Foundations, rares, and mythics. You can see I still don't have, like, I have 1 Charming Prince, I have 0 Linden, 0 Mentor of the Meek, I have Felidar Retreat from previous sets, so that doesn't really count, but I have 1 Caracal. Like, there's plenty of these cards that are rares, which rares are duplicate protected, or like, yeah, they're duplicate protected, but you can see like all these rares that are legal in standard, but they don't come out of packs, so you kind of have to craft them, which kind of sucks. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing, leaving a like, commenting, letting me know what you want to see next week. Subscribe to not miss out on that video, and if you're interested in what from Ether Drift might shake up standard, there should probably be a link to the video I posted yesterday on screen right about now, as well as probably in the description or the comment section. So anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and when you're watching. Ciao.